Okay. We're live.
Uh,
Hey, did the countdown work for you, or was it
I
really
think so.
choppy?
Yeah. Yeah, no, worked perfect for me.
Okay, so it's just on my side. Okay, all right. Hello, everybody. Um,
Hello.
I've had a busy week, and I just finished Rings of Power a few minutes ago. So there, as you can probably guess, there's no proper intro. We're just doing it live. Doing it
Mm-hmm.
live. Fuck it.
Fuck it, we're doing it live.
I just demonetized this by using an F bomb like in a couple of seconds.
No, man.
Pure work, pure
Bill
skill
usually
right
does
there.
that
But you
for
know,
us every week
yeah.
for free.
But
That sandbagging
we
son of a bitch.
God damn it. God damn you, Bill. But yeah, so we got some Rings of Power to talk about. We got some Wolfman from 1941, which is a fun one to talk about because I guess it looks like in January we're gonna get Blumhouse's Wolfman because I honestly kind of forgot that they
Yeah,
had bought the Universal Monster rights after the Tom Cruise thing just fucking
I forgot
destroyed
about
itself.
that too. Yeah, because fuck Tom
Yeah,
Cruise.
because the only thing they've done so far is the
Fuck
Invisible
him.
Man, which was decent as I recall.
Fucking good. Which was
Yeah.
fucking good.
So I'm like, okay, cool. Like I know January is usually a graveyard, but I think Invisible Man might be a January movie too, and that was good. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, let's so it'll be fun to talk about the original. Then we're gonna talk about Star Trek Voyager,
A
the episode
singular
Meld.
episode. Just
Yes,
one
yes.
episode.
But there is a connection between that and Wolfman. So as and it's kind of obvious. It's not exactly veiled, but yes. And then
Midway through, I was like, "Oh, I get it."
but and then we're gonna wrap up by talking about well actually I think that's it. There's nothing else to talk about, is there?
No, there is nothing
Yeah. There's
else
definitely
we
not something
should.
that I have so much to say about.
Oh,
Okay, yeah. Of course we're wrapping up with Joker 2, Folie do whatever. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce it. I don't know if I really care. It was a movie that was made, guys. That movie exists, and we will get into it
it
at the end of the
exists,
episode. Yeah, holy shit. Oh,
and it's not exactly you. You can have your chance to see it. There's plenty of seating available.
although I will say you might want to rush to a theater because the way it's going, this thing might go to streaming like fast. Like here, Bobby, give you an idea. You remember how big a bomb the Marvels was? They made a big deal about how
Oh yeah,
big the
yeah.
Marvels bombed. So the Marvels had an opening weekend of 45 million. You want to know what Joker 2 has?
$4.
37. So
No, Mark. We
yeah,
just started a bit late today.
yeah, a low water mark. Yeah, I pushed us back 15 minutes, and then we were a few minutes on top of that. But yeah, it's all me. It's all me. Here. I'll set this up so you
Chaos
can
fucked up.
properly point at me.
Oh, I
There we
already
go.
was
Now you can
doing it
point at
now.
me.
Now it's like this guy. Yeah, there we are. There we are.
Oh, that
Yeah.
you can't do this. No. But yeah, we are just getting caught up. But I guess we can go ahead and dive right into Rings of Power season 2. Just
Ooh,
wrapping up.
this was a marathon.
Yeah, so we did 5 episodes this week and then like 3 when it first came out. I will say like this plays out a lot like honestly it plays out for me a lot like the first season except better.
Yeah.
Essentially like it starts a little slow, but then it ends on just banger after banger. It just builds up. And then
Yeah, the last 4 were
Jesus.
Oh.
No, when that battle starts, like, holy shit, what's going on with this? We god damn, like last season was about like kind of introducing us to Sauron, and
Yeah.
then this season I think is about making us hate him so much.
Yeah.
He is disgusting. Holy shit.
I'm happy that I called it. Well, at least I mean it was obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Gandalf review. That or like
Oh yeah. Well, we were talking about that last season. It's like I guess they're not going to say it's Gandalf yet, and then spoilers, by the way.
Yeah,
Final
yeah. But I
episode, they do
mean,
reveal the wizard without name's Gandalf. Yeah.
I mean, like, he fell from a fucking sky.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I would say following this season, definitely the storyline that had me the most engaged was Sauron essentially going to Celebrimbor, taking on a new identity as Anatar, and then them just making some dwarven rings, and be like, hey, we got power rings, just like the elves have. Don't you guys want them?
That was a bit strange.
Well, I kind of dug it.
I really liked the princess, the elf princess's story.
Galadriel?
Yes.
Oh yeah, no. Well, she's kind of
but I didn't really care for like her companion, the guy with the curly hair, the other elf. Like
Elrond?
I could care less.
Well, yeah. Well,
and,
I mean,
and the Hobbit story,
yeah.
I really liked. I wish we did more with the Hobbits, and I really liked the Prince Dwarf story.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many characters to keep straight in this.
I will say,
like, I struggle.
I will say the one storyline that I really didn't connect with was the princess. I can't think of the island's name, but there's that dude that took over. Goddamn.
Oh yeah, the humans.
I mean, that's a picture of her right there. Yeah, the human. Yeah.
Yeah, I could care less.
That storyline is.
I could care less.
I'm kind of like, yeah.
That guy who's like just like a mock Joffrey.
Bad stuff's going on, but yeah.
Yeah, like that guy who's like a mock Joffrey.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
which is
with
more
them,
of just
I'm
like
not that picky, but like
when he was talking that shit to the old knight, and I'm gonna like, man, I'd stop if I were you, dude.
Oh yeah, there's that little action scene though with him, and
in the temple.
That was pretty cool. I'll give that. Yeah,
that was. Yeah, I enjoyed watching him get the crap kicked out of him for a moment.
But, yeah, but yeah, I would say I do think it's interesting. Like in this series, the humans are kind of but like I like the elves. The dwarves were pretty fucking solid this season too. Like they're getting the one king gets that ring of power and starts going fucking insane, and it's like, okay, this is fucked up. He literally is digging through the stone and he finds himself a Balrog, which is I wasn't expecting to see one of those so quickly. I was like, also, holy shit!
If there's a way to die, that's a way to die.
Dude, that's some epic shit right there. Oh my god! Oh my.
Yeah, I missed it. I missed the moment, but I wanted to take a picture of it and go like, for the record, this is how I want to go out.
Yeah.
For the record.
Who doesn't? Oh shit, I found a Balrog. Well, let me go charge it with an axe and meet it on the field of battle. It's like, okay.
Dear God.
Oh man. So yeah, just overall, I enjoyed this. Like I said, it's kind of like season 1, except better. Like as much as I enjoyed season 1, although not so much the beginning. Like I said, this is just the same type of format, just better. Starting out a little bit slow, though not as slow as season 1, then ending really fucking solid. Just building up on this storyline. Like I said, the storyline I found most engaging was Sauron, aka Anatar, making rings with Celebrimbor, and essentially what you learn throughout the season is that he has put Celebrimbor essentially under a spell, because there's a point where the city gets under attack, and then we see Celebrimbor doesn't see the attack. Like when we see his shots, the city's not under attack, and it made me for a moment I was kind of confused. I was like, wait, I thought they were attacking his city.
Yeah,
but no, I'm really confused. What? Okay, I guess it's in our city. And then it's revealed no, he's under a spell where like time's repeating in that little room, and he's not seeing the actual attack. He's not seeing the damage that's happening around him. And it's like, oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he gets essentially tricked into making the 7 rings for the dwarves, 9 rings for the humans, and they're all pretty much controlled by Sauron, who does some really fucked up shit to Celebrimbor at the end of the season. Holy crap. Yeah, the master elven ringmaker gets spoiler, he's dead, but
Yeah.
it was getting to the point where it's like, Jesus Christ, just pull him out of his misery, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And then you see him again, arrows him. I'm like,
Mhm.
for God's sakes, just kill
Yeah.
the man.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, the whole season kind of wraps up with the fall of that city, Aragon. I'm sorry, I'm mispronouncing it. Listen, there's a lot of names to keep track of in this series. I'm not gonna get them all right, but like, yeah, it's the fall of that city. The battle gets really wild. So essentially, you have orcs attacking that city because Sauron's in that city, and Adar, I want to say, is the leader of the orcs, and he's trying to get to Sauron. So it's almost like you're watching this and you're almost like, okay, the orcs are definitely bad guys.
Yeah.
But they're definitely not the worst guys in this situation because Sauron's in
No.
that city. And yes, the elves are good in that city. But Sauron very much isn't. And he's got control of that city. Oh, hello, Nicholas.
Hey, Nick.
God, yeah. And yeah, it's there's so much going on. And then essentially you do get the elves led by Elrond attacking the orcs from outside. It's like, okay, well, there's a group I'm rooting for. Then everybody else is elements I'm rooting for, but I don't know. But yeah, it's a wild battle. It's really well done. Yeah, this is a good season.
This was.
I hope. I'm pretty much Jeff Bezos has pretty much said he promises. He's doing 5 seasons. There's no. He has no plan to back down. Jeff Bezos is an evil billionaire guy, but I do appreciate that he bought this series, the rights to this, and he's like, okay, we're doing this. Don't worry, you can get invested in this show. It'll be running for X amount of time. There's something to be said for that, even though Jeff Bezos is evil, as all billionaires are.
He is Lex Luthor. Well,
Yes.
He is, but I mean, I don't think we'd ever get a photo of Jeff jumping gleefully.
Dude, I started bringing up billionaires, and I was like, oh god, I have to bring that up, don't I? Let me go ahead.
While we're in between, this quick reminder to like and follow and subscribe to all 3 of the channels. That's me on YouTube, Chaos on YouTube, and the podcast channel. And if you want, you can follow us both on the other socials, on Instagram, the Twitter, Threads. I think you probably post more on Threads than I do.
All my Thread stuff is actually just stuff I post on. I think it might be Facebook stuff. So if you want a secret leak into my Facebook feed,
yeah,
there you go.
I think the funniest thing is,
bro.
I think the funniest thing is
JD
Vance's face. If you scroll down a little bit, I mean, all 3 of them are making just gooberish faces. Like,
yeah,
man,
oh my god.
Look at. Yeah.
What the fuck is this? What the fuck is he doing? Seriously,
I have no idea. Like, is that a selling point?
Apparently, yeah. Listen, he's dark MAGA. He's dark MAGA.
So they're trying to coin a phrase that they already coined against, or no, wait, that was the liberals who made.
Yeah, no, they're trying.
That's to right. Yeah,
they started calling Biden Brandon because of Let's Go Brandon, which is actually fuck Joe Biden. But
yeah, but that still doesn't.
The left stole it and started saying Dark Brandon. And essentially, Dark Brandon is Joe Biden.
Yeah, like that one State of the Union where it's like all red lit in the background. Where it's like, oh man, even the administration's playing into this.
I am crushing this. I am. Yeah. That is Elon Musk being classy.
Look at Trump.
What else are you supposed to look at when you have this behind you?
And they think Mark Zuckerberg's an android. I mean,
what the fuck is this?
He's in the middle of rebooting.
Jump! So listen, Rings of Power is very good. I recommend watching it. So I guess since we're on the theme of monsters, you want to talk about Wolfman?
Oh yeah, that's yeah. Ooh.
Well, I would say the big difference between this and Elon Musk is that this monster is very sympathetic.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the okay. So if we want to talk about some bullshit, like I was actually kind of shocked when Lon Chaney was credited so far back in the cast, and then upon watching this, I'm like, whoa, that's a big ripoff.
Technically, that's Junior. That's Lon Chaney.
Yeah, it's Lon Chaney Jr. I know he's credited as without the Junior in a lot of this.
Yeah,
it is Lon Chaney Jr.
Yeah, but look at like the people that are in here.
Claude Rains, Ralph Bellamy, Bela Lugosi. I've never seen Ralph Bellamy that young.
Now Claude Rains, he's going to be in next week's movie, The Phantom of the Opera, but he also plays the Invisible Man.
Yes.
So that's like, oh, excellent. This is a good one. I kind of forgot how much I enjoyed this one.
Yeah, well, this is my first time watching it, Bobby. Do you want to go over kind of a bit more your history with it?
I got into these when I was like real little. So like my grandmother, being the patron for the arts as she always was, bless her for that, but she was mostly mainly into theater, but I told her I like scary movies, and she's like, oh, well, you should see some of the original scary movies. So she went out and got me this collection on VHS. It got me Phantom, Frankenstein, Dracula, Wolfman, Mummy, and the Invisible Man, from the Black Lagoon. So she's like, if you want to get into horror, you should see at least where it started from.
Yeah.
So like that way you could have a true, well-rounded knowledge of the genre and everything. And since then, I found Hammer films on my own and all the different sort of types of horror and everything. But yes, it started with these movies.
Well,
these ones in particular.
I mean, we saw Frankenstein a couple years ago at this point, but like we saw Frankenstein already, and now we have Wolfman. So like so far, like the thing about the monsters is, they're monsters, they're killing people, but they're kind of sympathetic.
But
you know,
see,
you kind of get it. You know,
they humanize it almost.
Yeah. So
I think about this and like when these were made. So like we're at war at this point in our country's history when these are made. In the 40s.
I can't imagine living through a war.
But like having still going to like we have.
I'm saying that semi-joking, but the thing to keep in mind is that World War II was way bigger deal,
different than things that
than the wars for oil and money we do recently, which is just kind of frustrating. But
since like the blood wars, the blood and oil. But like so, I know that these were also in the sense of like just to try and give some level of like I don't know, almost brevity to the American public. And like a lot of most of the Godzilla ones were kind of like that after the war, but they were the ones that were made from the Japanese filmmakers were thinking all this has been done, and look, this represents all the feelings that we have towards all of that. I think with these are just like there's something else that's out there that's scarier. So be scared of this as opposed to the scaries going on across the pond. Which, okay, cool, but it does its work, and these movies have lasted the test of time, and they are still so much can be learned from them, and even just like appreciate and pulled from for inspiration today. Like how many tropes from modern horror did you see in this one?
I wasn't expecting a quiz, Bobby. How dare you? But
but you see what I mean. You don't have to name any, but you see what I mean. Like the foggy landscape.
Oh God, yeah.
The great use of sound design while like the characters are out there. Like, just you
Yeah.
hear the howl, you hear it just as the people doing screams. So you're even thinking, what the heck was that?
I mean, I was kind of thinking of almost like the transformation. So you get very few like actual face transformations, but you do get it. But like,
They
you know,
do
the
it.
stuff where it's like
That's
his feet just get hairier and hairier, and then you pan up and he's Wolfman, stuff
and
like
then for a
that.
while you don't see the face, but he's walking past the tree, so you kind of get to see it sort of
Yeah.
until he comes right around on that tree, and then it's just boom, full glory right there. Like, holy crap, that's
Yeah.
so
It's
cool.
and
Yeah.
for like this is 1941 and the makeup is very fucking solid. He looks like a
And
Wolfman. It's
you got to think Rick Baker saw that and it blew his mind enough to where he was like, you know what? I want to do something like that.
yeah. And I guess we'll go ahead and if you're interested, so the story is super simple.
It is.
So you have essentially a gypsy Bella. And sorry for the derogatory term, but it is literally the term
That
used
is
in this movie.
literally as they are described as in the film.
Yeah,
They
but
are literally described as that.
yes. So Bella, played by Bella Lugosi, by the way, he meets with a woman and she's got this. He sees this star symbol on her and he's like,
A pentagram.
"Holy shit, pentagram." And he's like, "Holy crap, you've got to get away from me.
Yep.
Get away."
And
then
it's just
so
like, you need to leave now. Go.
Yeah.
So
and then
Lon Chaney is there. Lon Chaney is with this lady that he just came to town because he's gonna inherit some money and some land. And there's, like, people who are his father's friends who are helping him sort it out, but he's staying at his family's property. And while he's there, he meets this woman, and this woman and her friend, the lady who the gypsy was talking to, they want to go get their fortunes told. So while the lady's getting hers, what is it? Alex?
The lady's friend?
No. Lon Chaney's character's name.
Oh, Larry.
Thank you, Larry. Yeah, Larry and this lady who go. They go off in the woods to talk more. Meanwhile, this lady's running, and we hear a wolf attack her. But we actually see a wolf attack her.
Well, I think it's also worth explaining. So the lady is essentially the third wheel because Lon Chaney asked this woman out. And I think it's worth saying, like, you know, Lon Chaney's, you know, Larry, he's a decent guy. But the way he picks up on her is a little fucking weird. And it's like, yeah, no wonder she wanted a third wheel.
I
like,
noticed that.
You
and I was
seem
like,
okay-ish, but dude.
Oh, and by the way, like, I have a fiance. Oh, well, that's something for, like, dude, pump the brakes.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, so like he's installing a telescope and he's setting it up and he accidentally sees her through the window in her room.
Like, he turns away from it and it immediately turns down and he goes to grab it and go, oh, hey. So yeah, it wasn't like he intentionally did.
Yeah, it wasn't like he was intentionally spying on her, but like he did it enough to like see some earrings she had, and then he goes over to her place because she has a little shop downstairs.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Hey, I really like these earrings," and she's like, "How are you describing the earrings I have upstairs?" It's like, "Oh, because I get visions and, you know, of beautiful women," and it's like, bro, you're coming off really fucking creepy. Just, this is a bad line. Hate to tell you this. And it's almost like, dude, I guess it worked for him, but yeah, it's like, dude, I think you would do better if you were just like, hey, you know, I was installing a telescope, accidentally saw you through the window, thought you were beautiful, and just want to come introduce myself. But yeah, I guess we all have our own quirks. And I guess this does set up the opportunity for her to get a third wheel, for the third wheel to get killed by a wolf. And then Lon Chaney shows up, attempts to save her life, but he's too late. But he does kill the wolf because he has a silver cane.
Yep, with a wolf emblem on it.
Yeah, which, but, you know, you might be surprised to hear and shocked to hear, while he's killing the werewolf, it bites him. I know it's shocking.
Yeah, well, it's you see it scratch him, but it bites him.
Yeah,
and he is okay the next day.
Yeah,
fine. just fine.
Completely healed. Actually, it's like, whoa, damn, I'm good. But yeah, and then just throughout the movie, he's just living his normal life, and then he's starting to realize, oh shit, like I think I'm going out at night and killing people.
Yeah.
This is an issue. Because that's the thing. He's not a bad guy. He you know,
No.
he's maybe not the best moves with women, but he means well, and
He's not like a
yeah,
evil man or
no,
anything like that. Like
he's just a dude. No.
yeah, he's just a guy trying to take
Mhm.
over his family's land.
Mhm.
While Claude Rains seems semi-trustworthy.
Yeah. And then yeah, well, I mean, you got this room of people with like Claude Rains and Ralph Bellamy, and I assume the other one's Warren William, and they I think they almost always are in the same room together, just discussing the random shit of the town.
Yeah,
And it's like,
that's
yeah,
a nice touch. I really like that.
yeah. Um,
This
so
one,
yeah,
at least, it doesn't have the overt racism like King of the Zombies had. At least,
well, true. Although King of the Zombies, overt racism aside, was actually kind of charming.
yeah, it was. No matter how derogatory towards the Irish they were.
Yeah. um. So, I mean, this is a
This is
classic
good.
movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
I enjoyed
it
this.
is.
Yeah,
You could.
I mean, honest.
Just
I mean,
like
one thing I will.
Oh, sorry.
I
Go
was
ahead.
just gonna say real fast. If you haven't dove into the Universal monster movies, one thing to let you guys know: these things are short. Like this is a 69-minute movie.
Yeah, like an hour movie, hour 10.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it sets up the character, it sets up the monster, and it goes through stuff pretty quickly. Like you're not waiting for stuff to happen. About every
No.
10 minutes or so, something big's happening.
Yeah.
Um.
Just makes you think modern filmmaking can learn a thing or two from these.
Yeah. Just you don't have to blow up the story to such a level. You can just do a simple story.
Be quick about it.
Yeah.
People got stuff.
And you
to
know
do.
what? While it just is popping in my mind, guys, like and subscribe.
Yes.
Organized Chaos podcast. Bobby Quarters.
This guy.
Yeah, all the stuff. Yeah, all 3 channels.
Yes.
All 3 channels. Like and subscribe. But yeah, Wolfman. Anything you want to add, Bobby? Because I enjoyed this.
Yeah,
this is just like a classic movie. Yeah.
The sets in this again, and I know
Yeah.
I'm going to be talking about this every single week because we're covering Universal Monsters every show this week. Yeah, like these sets are just like legit and everything. Like even that giant house that they were filming in, like I could tell like the ones that were actually legit interiors or they were sets. But like still just it was just so impressive back then.
Mm-hmm.
And the
yeah, I
use
mean,
of lighting,
they get a lot of use out of that forest set for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could see some of the makeup there. Yeah, this is the classic Wolfman story.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I mean a lot of it almost kind of reminds me of almost Wolfman and Monster Squad, where he's just a guy normally, but then he turns into a monster and kills people, and then he's like, "Fuck, I need to stop this." But then yeah,
and he has no arms.
Yeah, yes. I mean, it gets to a point towards the end where he's literally telling people, "God damn it, I'm the Wolf Man. Stop this." But yeah, very good movie, classic movie, worth checking out. Anything you want to add before we go on to Star Trek?
Yeah, let's get on to the Trek.
All right, so we will be discussing Horror Trek this Saturday on the stream, and this is one of the episodes we're covering. And I thought I'd throw it on here because it contains a certain actor that I think Bobby enjoys.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
At first I was like, oh man, a Trek. And then I saw like the still for I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm cool. I'm cool with that.
But yeah, the other reason why it also kind of inspired me is because like you shared the Lon Chaney Jr. transformation scene. I was like, oh, that's right. The guy Brad Dourif plays Lon Suter, who is named after Lon Chaney Jr. which is a fun little connection.
Yeah.
He doesn't play a werewolf here. He just plays a serial killer. Now, I guess I haven't said the episode. It's Star Trek Voyager. The episode's Meld from late season 2.
Yeah.
I will be 100% honest with you. This episode is it's okay. It's got its moments. I think it's a little thin on the storyline overall.
Agreed.
Yeah, but for
the,
me,
the horror elements in it were really good. Like,
yeah.
really
Well,
good.
what really works about this episode, even though I don't think it's a brilliant episode, but there's two elements that really work, and that is Brad Dourif's performance and Tim Russ's performance. Because the episode is about Lon Suter, Brad Dourif. He's a Maquis crew member, and they talk about how, like, when he was a member of the Maquis, he just volunteered for the Maquis. He didn't have any bird in the fight. What's the expression? He didn't have
in the game.
Yeah, he didn't have any skin in the game. That worked. He didn't have any skin in that game, but he volunteered to fight for the Maquis. And when he fought the Cardassians, he seemed to really, really enjoy killing them, which made them a little like, what the fuck's up with this guy? And then essentially, Voyager gets stranded in the Delta Quadrant, and then he just works on the engineering crew. And then one night, he works with one other guy, and then the other guy turns up dead the next day. And it's like, okay, we only have one clear suspect, so I guess we should ask him. So Tuvok is like asking him the stuff, and that's when he gets the history about Lon Suter just being kind of probably not all there. And then so Lon Suter is a betazoid, and he even talks about here how, like, betazoids, that's the same thing Deanna Troi is. He can usually sense other people's emotions just fine. He's unique. He can't sense even his own emotions. When he kills, it's because he's desperately trying to feel something, which he doesn't even feel a whole lot then.
Yeah. And
Tuvok's trying to figure out what was his motivation for killing him. And essentially, his motivation is, I didn't like the way he looked at me. That's it.
Very Charles Lee Ray of him.
Yeah. Yes, it
like,
is.
But I was watching, I was like, okay, Chucky.
Yeah. But yeah, so Tuvok doesn't understand that, so he's trying to get in this guy's head, and that's when Tuvok proposes like a mind meld and he's like, I would like to understand how you think, get into your head, and then in turn, you'll be able to gain some of my, like, peace and my restraint, and some Vulcan discipline. And what I thought was interesting is when that was brought up, instantly when that was brought up, Lon Suter was just like, I'm in, just unambiguously. It's like he recognizes, I'm kind of terrible, but, like, if you're gonna offer me a little bit of that, I will give it a shot, and it kind of said something. It's like, okay, he's a monster, but okay.
Yeah. I was enjoying it, and I really like that add to the plot. I was like, I was not expecting that. Where is this exactly going to go?
Well, I mean, the rest of it goes to Tuvok, just kind of going a bit insane himself, tearing up his quarters, getting locked down to the doctors, and they have him behind a force field, and they have he's in trouble because they plastered some stuff on his forehead, and that's when in Star Trek you got serious stuff going on.
Like, it's legit.
Yeah, but then he's like, guys, I feel fine. Just drop the force field, guys. Just drop the force field. I promise not to be creepy. Honestly, Tim Russ does a great job playing essentially crazy Tuvok. And that, like, as much as I praise these two guys' performances, I would say the thing about this episode that they really should have exploited is give, like, Suter and Tim Russ more scenes together, because they do a good job bouncing off each other, and those two performances are what carry this whole goddamn thing. I mean, Brad Dourif I've never seen Brad Dourif turn in a half-ass performance.
No.
I can't think of anything. No. This is exactly the same thing here.
I don't even think he knows how to.
Yeah, it's like, it's not possible.
Like, I've seen him choose scenery.
Oh God,
like,
yeah.
In a bad and a good way, but he didn't turn in a bad performance.
Yeah. it's always a noteworthy performance with him. But yeah, like I said, this isn't like my favorite, but like this definitely, it's kind of a Halloween theme. Kind of connects to Wolfman a little bit, and kind of has one of Bobby's favorite actors. And maybe someday I will show you the follow-up episodes, the sequel episodes with him,
Okay.
because in my opinion they're actually better, but they're not really horror themed.
Yeah.
But that'll come at a different date. But yeah, this is fun. Anything you want to add since this?
No.
I don't know if you watched this before, but yeah.
No, I have not. This was my first time viewing it, and I enjoyed it. But yeah, I'd be interested to watch the rest of it.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. Well, we will probably do that after Halloween for sure.
Okay.
All right, and that leads us to yeah, actually we're done.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about it. It stunk. It was bad.
Okay, so actually
man.
we could really kind of dive into this, because I actually think it's interesting, because I feel like with Megalopolis and this, I feel like we got 2 weeks literally in a row of filmmakers kind of pushing themselves to the point where they're just not good anymore.
Yeah.
Just okay, so obviously we're on Joker, Folie, Deux, Joker 2, whatever. Let me go ahead and get some positives out of the way. Joaquin Phoenix is solid once again.
Yes.
I like Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn.
As did I.
Brendan Gleeson as the guard. Pretty much the acting here is all great, because you got Brendan Gleeson as the guard, who's just a piece of shit. But like there's moments where you like him, and moments where it's like, God, he's a piece of shit. And then Catherine Keener is the lawyer. The acting is good all around. Yeah, I'm trying to struggle for any other positives. Are there any other positives you can think of, Bobby?
We got another character in Batman lore introduced in this, and it was a different take on that character, which I'm happy we got that.
Yeah,
we got Harvey Dent in this one.
Yeah, I was about to say Harvey Dent. Well, we got Harvey Dent and Harley Quinn, but yeah.
Yeah. But like, there's rarely much Harvey Dent that we get to see, as he's always Two-Faced, or we see the quick progression of it.
Yeah.
Like, I think the only time that we've only gotten Harvey Dent was in Gotham.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
and of course the animated series, but live action. I mean, that portrayal is chef's kiss. This. I like to see him being the asshole.
Yeah,
but
just to break away for a moment on a side note, like there was that explosion at the end of this movie in the courthouse, and I was semi-expecting when they cut to Harvey Dent to see half his face burned off. They're like, oh God damn it,
just a little scarred, and it's like, what the? Yeah, I would. I almost left at that point.
Stop it. Okay, So I'll be honest. I know lots of people are theorizing this is Todd Phillips just tanking this thing because he doesn't want to do it anymore. I think to a degree you can say that, but like
you can tell.
To be honest, I don't know. To me, the direction shows a lot of effort, but what it also shows is that he's not capable of doing this type of movie, because this is. I mean, it's for a musical. There's not a whole lot of musical numbers, and the musical numbers are some of the most uncreative thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, there's I want to say, like, there's the courtroom one and the game show one, which I felt like were kind of creative. And then the rest were just kind of just thrown out there. And it's almost tough to describe. They're so fucking random.
Yeah, and it kind of got to the point where I was feeling like if they really want to go this musical route, they should just commit to it and not be as sporadic. Oh, Dean, I don't know.
It's not even. No, I would argue it's not even close. It's way less creative than Moulin Rouge.
Way less. Like, it's more forced than it was in Moulin Rouge. It's about as forced as it is in like Chicago, but it's
and
in Chicago.
I get what he's doing with the story, because like
Mm-hmm.
It's introduced with Lady Gaga's in the Glee Club. She's singing a song, and then he gets introduced to her. And then once he's introduced to her, he starts singing all over the place. And it's like, okay, so like obviously it's like he's with Harley and he likes her, and she's bringing light into his life, and that's why he's singing and dancing. And listen, while we're talking about Arthur Fleck singing, um, I would definitely say my favorite of the musical numbers was the courtroom one. But there's a reason why they didn't share that one and shared the weird tap dancing one they did. And that's because Joaquin Phoenix, talented actor, and he puts his all into the singing stuff. He's not a great singer. I'm sorry. And listen, I'm not a great singer either, but
He did better when he emulated Johnny Cash.
that is true. He did do that. He did do that.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, doing the Arthur Fleck. I guess maybe he was trying to do Arthur Fleck singing.
Or himself, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like, so there's only two characters that really do the sing through this. It's Arthur Fleck and Harley Quinn, and goddamn the heart, like Lady Gaga. It's obvious, like I think she's a solid actress, but she's obviously also cast because yeah, she can actually belt it, and it does stand out next to Joaquin Phoenix, where it's like, she had to unlearn singing for the movie. They're not meant to be good at it. Well, I thought she was great in singing in the movie, honestly.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah, this movie was not really good. I went to an early afternoon showing of this today, and I was the only person in that theater.
Well, I went last night, and I want to say there was like 3 or 4 people. And we brought up the box office earlier. Like this movie was supposed to be huge.
Yeah.
And I remember when Deadpool and Wolverine came out and broke all the R-rated records that Joker 1 set. I remember being like, okay, let's see if it holds on to those records or if Joker 2 takes them away. And now it's like, Deadpool and Wolverine's got it for the foreseeable future.
Oh, yeah.
It's not going anywhere. It is just kind of shocking. So the storyline of this movie, to actually break it down, so obviously Arthur Fleck's in prison. He meets Harley Quinn. She lights up his life, but also like he's going to trial. Catherine Keener is his lawyer, and she's doing this. She wants to do a split personality defense. Yeah. Which is weak sauce immediately, but okay, and that it'd be one thing, like, because okay, so at the very beginning, this opens with an animated cartoon, a Joker cartoon done in the Warner Brothers style, and I'll be 100% honest, I thought that was a really creative idea. Unfortunately, that cartoon fucking sucks, but it's a creative idea. I like the idea of opening up something so dark like this with something kind of bright and colorful. But yeah, the actual cartoon kind of sucked, but the cartoon kind of introduced the idea of maybe like there's a Joker and Arthur and they're different people. And that's the most this is explored outside of the stuff the lawyer says, because never outside that is it really explored that they're different people. Cause I mean, they're not. I mean, if the movie wanted to try to sell us that, which it seemed like at times it did, it could have, essentially retconned it a bit. Essentially said, kind of explained, Arthur kind of blacked out when he killed people, so he wasn't, he remembered it, but like he wasn't really there. They could have retconned it there if they wanted to try to trick the audience, but they don't even try that. So the big reveal of the movie doesn't even work as a reveal because they don't even try to convince the audience of it. So. And yeah, so like it's a courtroom. That's another thing. So this is a courtroom movie. And as far as I can tell, like Arthur's defense is dreadful. Catherine Keener is doing the best she can with the multiple personality stuff, but spoiler alert, and we've already spoiled a bit, but like he fires her like midway through, and then does the rest and defends himself in fucking Joker makeup, which is, I'm shocked the judge allowed that. There's literally a scene where he's sitting in there in full Joker makeup, and he's like, "I will allow this just for this." It's like, which judge allows that? The fuck?
Exposition, man.
The
Exposition.
fuck? No. That's not it. Oh my god. So I mean, there's also like I brought up in the when we talked about the first Joker how Arthur's an unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
And we can argue we don't know what's real here. There's obviously the final meeting he has with Harley on the stairwell, which I'm pretty sure that's not real, based on what we know. But I will say I almost kind of like the ending, because the ending is him kind of accepting responsibility. And that's the thing. So like if they decide to try to lean into the split personality stuff and then have the ending actually be Arthur to be like, no, it was me. It was me. I have to be honest with myself. It was me, which is kind of the ending they do, but like without the buildup, it doesn't work. But if they did the proper buildup, then did that ending, it would be like, okay, cool. You know, this is Arthur maturing. This is Arthur saying, you know, what I did wasn't fucking good at all. And you know, I should pay a price for that. But yeah, I guess don't worry. Big spoilers. Pretty much everybody's dead at the end of this one.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's not.
Well, I mean, they can continue it, I guess.
Well, I mean, since he's an unreliable narrator, yeah. Because I mean, you know, we saw Harley put a gun to her head, but we didn't see her pull the trigger, and then we see her talking later. I'm pretty sure she's supposed to be dead, but they could always just say she's not. It's like in this movie, they say he killed 5 people, and then you know he's like, they don't know about my mom. There are 6, but but in the original Joker movie, there's actually 7 because there's a therapist at the end where he's talking to her, and then he walks out with bloody shoes. And yeah, so they're essentially saying that one didn't happen, which is fine. He's an unreliable narrator.
Well, yeah, but
so I guess they could do a Joker 3, but please fucking don't. This is,
well, I don't know how they would. He ends up getting knifed in the end.
Yeah. Well, again.
But then again, we also see that person laughing maniacally and slicing open his cheeks. Mm-hmm. So,
listen, I will say this. This is a lot like Megalopolis, where filmmaker is pushing himself to something he probably shouldn't be doing. But I don't know. Part of me appreciates it, even though I absolutely do not recommend.
And I'll be honest,
especially this movie, honestly.
And I'll be honest, like the first one, I felt it was overhyped, and I'm not the biggest fan of. It's okay at best.
Yeah,
and that's just my opinion of it. So
no, like
I don't think it needed a sequel.
I've always maintained that the first one. I think the first one is a good movie. It is not this brilliant art piece that people will make out to be.
No,
it's a solid, well done movie,
and it does have its fans and its loyalists, and that's fine. Yeah. Absolutely fine.
Mm-hmm.
Just not a fan.
Yeah, and this, I don't think this one's getting a fan base because the reviews are completely panning it, and I get it. And I will say, like, I don't think this is like the worst movie I've ever seen by any means, but it's bad. It's definitely bad.
It's bad. Woof.
Well, at least it doesn't put in a random grape scene out of nowhere.
That's true.
Oh, wait a minute. That was such a curveball too. I was like, wait, are we doing this? Okay. All right.
What? Okay.
I don't think this is necessary, but whatever. Sure.
All right. Next week.
No, you want to talk about Joker 2 some more?
Next
week we're doing Joker 3, guys.
Do we have anything else to really talk about Joker 2?
Not really.
Good. So next week,
kind of a mess.
So next week we'll be talking about the Saturday Night movie. Saturday Night
Oh
Live
yes, yeah,
film about
that looks like
day
fun. I think
one.
that's an A24 movie too, about
It is,
the first
yes.
episode of Saturday Night Live.
And we're
Very
doing
interested to check that one out.
1943's Phantom of the Opera, starring Claude Rains.
Okay,
Hey,
I'm really excited because I've
we're gonna have
never seen
3
these guys
weeks
do a
here.
musical before.
Okay. Well, this isn't a musical. This is just more
I know,
closer to
I
the
know.
actual story.
Andrew
I
Lloyd
mean,
Webber was quite a few
there
decades
is
later.
there is a little melody that's in this that will be in your head after you watch it.
Ooh, okay, cool.
And since this is the week of my birth, I picked one, and I picked the movie SLC Punk. That is what we will be covering next week.
Good deal.
Yes.
That sounds like fun.
No, Nicholas, it was not good. I did not enjoy it.
Joker 2 is the best movie of the year. Right? No, it was. It's weird. Like I think Joker 2. Like I don't recommend going to watch it, but part of me also wants to kind of study this movie because it is where they go awry is just. It's such bizarre fucking choices for this movie. I'm like honestly like wouldn't mind picking Todd Phillips' brain on this movie. Just like, what the fuck were you thinking with this? Like, what? Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix are good actors, though. I'll give them.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah. So yeah. I'm doing a solo stream tomorrow, guys. Gonna be covering some comic books. And then Initiative's doing something on Wednesday. I don't know if we're streaming or if we're going to do some pre-recording, but we'll get some stuff out to you guys. And then yeah, I think that's it for me this week. Any big plans, Bobby, or just next week?
I got new guitar stuff that I'm going to be playing with.
Nice. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, the wife and I are going to Book of Mormon this Sunday.
Ooh, that could be fun. I've never seen that. No.
Neither have I, and I mean, I like Matt and Trey's writing.
Yeah, that Mormon episode's fantastic.
It's
dum 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 dum.
It's a work of art. Anytime they conquer a major or they take on a religion, it's like just they're top tier stuff, in my opinion.
Yes. Oh God. I still recite Christian rock hard fairly regularly.
I know enough to exploit it.
Yes. Yeah,
I might say that line a little bit too much.
But yeah, that's the plan for this week. Guys, party on and be excellent to each other.
Take it easy.